2, 1. Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Slash Chat Podcast. And again, with our awesome new setup and my tiny little box of a screen, and we have an amazing set of hosts today. We have Alex and Cardinal, and everyone else are losers.
We're down a few, but it's okay. Yeah, we'll get through it.
Yeah. Raytog's at work, and Teal'ger has school, which we won't see Teal'ger for quite a while. Sad face. And I still haven't heard anything back about the comic guy, so...
I'd love to see a new guy.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking love comics. Another person I could talk to about comics.
Yeah, haven't heard anything back from him yet, so I'm hoping I can still plan for that. But yeah... So we'll go through as our normal introductions and what we've been doing this week. So, I was about to say, as always, Alex, but he seemed to have disappeared.
He just disappears.
Had to let the cat out or he would have complained and you would have heard it.
Oh.
Then we would have had casters.
Well, I just discovered a very traumatizing thing on the Bad Sonic fan art Twitter account. I'm not going to talk about that because that's scary. Not so much the art, but the fact that someone thought that was a good idea to make. Oh, okay. Never mind. But
yeah, I'm curious. I'm just like, I need to know what this is. Cause...
Find the link. I'll give it to you in the chat.
And at the same time, I'm like, probably not, because if it's...
It's not pornographic, don't worry.
I'm caught in the middle of, what the fuck is this?
I don't want to leave you guys hanging. Now I gotta find it. There it is.
Well, I won't be putting that on my window, so I
will
have to click it after.
Here it is. If you really want to see it, I think did it go? Yeah, it went through.
I do want to know it. At the same time, I'm like, what is it?
But
it's blind.
It's been a pretty busy few weeks as far as because website I write for, Hardcore Gamer.
That is weird.
I know. I don't know why someone decided that was an okay. It's actually kind of a spoof of another artwork that someone did on a. It's a spoof of that. But we got a sexy new site redesign on Hardcore Gamer, and I gotta say this is a really nice ergonomic setup for the site. Now, normally, and I'm not saying this just because I write for the site, but I really like how everything's organized. The reviews are on the left-hand side. The deals are on the left-hand side too. We got podcasts, and it's a big step up from our last site design. And I just think it looks really organized, and it's nice.
Nice. So
between that, we've also been putting out a lot of content. I've been writing a lot of articles, putting out a lot of news, and I'm really enjoying this. I'm communicating with a lot of the other writers. And it's looking really nice. I did get to, as far as well, first I'll say, because I've been watching some anime. One of the I've been watching a few older series that a lot of people, because everyone's like Sword Art Online 2, which I hear is a train wreck.
It is a train wreck, and it's getting worse.
Oh my god.
I've held off even bothering to watch that, because
it might even get to the point where it's so bad that I want to see it. But... not right now.
It's
bad enough to be hilarious.
Cat's
so
just
bad.
Exasperated thinking about it. But I've been watching, for a while I was watching Future Diary a little bit, and that's still a very, mature story. And they say, they're in middle school, and I'm like, first of all, these characters are not in middle school. That woman is not in middle school. No. You don't design a middle school character like that. You don't. That you don't.
Yeah.
You can say they're in middle school, but in reality,
I take it she's well endowed.
Yes, I mean, and they make they make those kinds of jokes, like she's cleaning up against the guy she likes.
They make
of course, they make that camera
saying that they missed a few grades.
And it's really violent, and it's like this sort of death game figured out by this god who's just being really, really cruel to everyone. But for some reason, it kind of has this... It was the beginning of the Yandere meme. What was her name? I haven't seen this in a while. You know, or something like that. And she makes the creepy face where she's like, I love you, and I'm going to be really creepy and kill anyone who gets near you or something like that. But that's not even. But there was a part where a woman told all of her followers to take turns raping this girl.
What?
And I'm like,
the fuck?
yeah, that's so. But in the end they don't. But because the hero comes in before that could happen. But still, yeah, this isn't middle school. Sorry, this is. And I know some of the reviews I've seen on this series are they're like, oh, it's so pointless and so, mindless. And I'm like, it's not that bad. It actually has a really awesome opening theme. And the story, I'm liking the characters. I'm not that far in though. But the other anime series I've been spending a lot of time with is another older one called Black Lagoon. I was told by a friend to give Black Lagoon a try. And Black Lagoon has been old for a while. It's been, I think it was on Toonami for a while. I don't know if it still is. And it kind of takes place in this modern day pirate crew. And a guy from Japan is kind of taken as a hostage. And then once his company says, oh yeah, we're not going to do anything for this guy, he's not worth saving, the Japanese employee ends up joining the pirate crew. So he's this fresh meat. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know the badassery and all the dangers of being a pirate. But the other three members, one of them is kind of the big, tough leader of the pirate crew, black guy, and his name is Dutch. And then there's Benny, who's kind of the tech whiz, but he's still, he's experienced. And then there's Revy, who is the really tough female protagonist, and she's always picking on the new guy. What?
Crazy about guns.
She's crazy about guns, but the gun fight choreography is actually pretty cool. I like how because I'm only about 4 or so episodes in, she's jumping on the boats and she's shooting one, and then she puts the shotgun over her shoulder and just shoots the person. Oh my god, it's really cool. And she's just an interesting character because she's always patronizing the new guy Rock because he doesn't know how much danger it's in, and like it's just an involving series. I just like how these 4 characters, because I've always been one of those guys who thinks characters can make a show for him. I don't care what they do as long as the people doing them are interesting, and I really think it's interesting. And that's one that I'm gonna consider watching further because I'm getting hooked on it. And I hear there's like 2 or 3 seasons to it. So.
Also, I'd like to say, finally anime that I've seen that both of you freaking haven't.
It's great, and it's just
very rare that would happen.
Exciting. As far as the games go, I've been kind of all over the place. First of all, I recorded some footage to play. I played Gone Home, and I recorded some footage for that to make a video of it.
Nice.
I don't know when the video is going to be released because I'm going to be away from my computer for a while, but of course that's regarded as the the super avant-garde indie game that you either love or hate, and either side will completely go after you if you don't agree with them. So I'm gonna make up a video of that because I recorded the commentary last night, so now I'm gonna try and just get brass tacks editing. Aside from that, I've been kind of just cleaning up my Steam pile a little bit, even though I just bought Goat Simulator yesterday because it was on
Oh dear God.
And oh my god, that game's crazy. It's so fun. And I mean, I remember hearing from the developers, they said, we're not going to fix any bugs unless they're game breaking. And they were right. They left in a lot of bugs, but it's just so crazy. So there's a mini game in the Saints Row series called Insurance Fraud, where the goal is to throw yourself in front of traffic to get points. And you get money because and you just sort of ragdoll into traffic, and the more cars you bounce off of and the farther you go, the more money you can earn from insurance fraud. And I loved that mini game because it was like Burnout 3 crash mode.
Goat Simulator.
And Goat Simulator is pretty much the equivalent of insurance fraud. But it was great. I have a lot of fun with it. And I also played some Binding of Isaac finally. I've been told, play Binding of Isaac because Binding of Isaac Rebirth is coming out soon. I played Binding of Isaac, and I'm like, holy crap, this game is gruesome and creepy and dark and unsettling and
amazingly awesome.
It is awesome. I really like because I got the Joy to Key app, so because I think I would play better with a controller, so I did, and it's great.
Nice.
I really like that game, and it has. I like roguelikes have replay value. Because when you go back to the beginning, you have things that you haven't seen yet. But the one game that I played in the last 2 weeks, I was going to talk about it last week, but we didn't have podcast, is a game that I reviewed for Hardcore Gamer called Murasaki Baby. It is a Vita game. Yeah, this thing, which I never use because there's really nothing interesting on it. Murasaki Baby is a game that was only released on the Vita, and it's indie. And it was made by the person who made the Shadows of the Damned game, which was kind of a bizarre sort of Japanese kind of take. And the game has this little sort of if you ever read any comics by Roman Dirge or Jonan Vasquez, it's that kind of art design. It's all dark, Tim Burton style, Edward Gorey. And the cool thing about this game is that you don't control the character directly. You have to kind of use the touchscreen on the Vita to kind of hold her hand and lead her along.
Aww.
It sounds really weird because she's trying to find her mother, and you use the touchscreen to move your finger, and she kind of follows you along. You're kind of pulling her across this dangerous, nightmarish world. And the thing I like so much about this game, first of all, the story's great. Love it. Love the art design. But it's very, very creative in how it uses all these little things on the Vita. It uses the touch screen. You use the rear touchpad to interact with the environment. In some parts, one of the parts you have to turn the Vita upside down to invert gravity. And it's really short, but I completely loved every second of it. It was just, it was so creative. And the art design is great. She has this weird... She looks like a little girl, but she has this big toothy grin on her forehead. So it's so twisted. And the whole time I was playing... Because I heard about this a while ago. I heard about this when it was first announced, and I'm like, this looks really cool. And then I actually played it, and I'm like... Every single expectation fulfilled and more. It was one of the best games I'd played all year. Some people said, well, when your hand's in front of the touch screen, you can't see what's going on. And I'm thinking, well, that's when you hold it like you put your finger down here so you're not blocking the screen. Quit complaining. So I reviewed that on Hardcore Gamer, and I just gushed all over it because it's so charming, and the whole goal is you're helping these other characters solve their own sort of social problems. Like one of the characters is super... vain. She's always looking in the mirror. Another one is sort of addicted to TV, and everything about the game is just so full of personality, and I loved how the puzzles were designed. And I shit on the Vita all the time because there's no original games that really have anything good in them on the Vita. The Vita only has a ton of indie games and a ton of ports and stuff, and finally I'm seeing a game that is built for the Vita that you can only get on the Vita, and that I enjoyed every second of it. So if you have a Vita, go buy Murasaki Baby. Do it, because I cannot recommend it anymore. It did have some problems, but holy crap, it's such a good game. And I wanted to talk about it last week, but I wasn't able to do it. So that's me. I talked long enough. Let's listen to David.
I was gonna say, before I introduce myself, I bought a Vita and literally an hour later traded it back in because I hated the damn thing. Hated how it felt. Like it's too bulky for the hands. The controls are in the wrong spot. It just feels wrong for me.
Well,
I don't get rid of this shit.
I don't think that's the main problem. I think the main problem is that Sony doesn't know it exists. They've done nothing to support this thing. They're like, get it so you can play, remote play games streamed to the Vita from the PlayStation 4. And it's like, that's not why I bought a fucking Vita. Okay? I bought it to play Vita games. Why you bought it. And you're not making any Vita games. You say you're committed to it, but you're clearly not.
I'm still gonna stick to my Nintendo DS.
Of course.
It's the original generation of the DS too.
I got my 3DS XL right here. I'm playing Bravely Default.
I want to get a 3DS just to play that game.
Here's the part where I say how good it is just to rub it in Kat's face.
Aww.
But seriously, when you don't have a 3DS at all? I thought you did.
No.
Get one. It's fun. Bravely Default is fun.
Well, I have to be torn away from another MMO.
Fair enough.
She's currently got two going on right now. She got Smite.
Bravely Default gives you so many options.
Yeah.
There's so much you can do in that game. It's so good.
Cool. Well,
so, what's your introduction?
Otherwise known as David. You guys can call me Dave or Garth. Whatever. I don't care. It all works. Games this week has been a little bit crazy for me. I found this game, which I think all of you will probably love, if you can get the non-shinies going on.
Ass Creed.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Nice.
I had to cheap out and get it on the console because I didn't have monies for the computer version, so I was like, no.
Really? It was on the Humble store for like $15 on PC.
Yeah, I got this for free. So.
Oh, okay. Well, can't argue with that.
I traded in some old computer parts to a store that also sells games, and I was like, I want this. Give me this. So I've been going a little crazy with that. Minecraft is always
spending a lot of time playing Black Flag.
I haven't only just got it yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So I spent like 20 minutes on it, and then like passed out because I was needing to go to sleep. But today is going to be Black Flag Day for me. It's just be like,
Black Flag Day.
Consoles.
Play some. What's that one album they did? The band Black Flag. With Henry Rollins.
Play Black Flag while listening to Black Flag. It all works out. It's fine.
Right?
You gotta be a pirate?
Yeah.
You're a pirate.
Other than Black Flag, I started playing a game called Zombies, Monsters, Robots on Steam. It's free. It just released 2 days ago. It has horrible server lag. Like, you'll be standing still and you'll be bouncing all over the place because it has no idea where you are. Day 2, they fixed that mostly. So it's a lot better. So I'm hoping day 3 will get even better. But it's pretty fun. If any of you have played like COD Zombies or Counter-Strike, it's kind of both of those.
Counter-Strike Zombies.
Yes, that's one of the game modes. You have assaults, you have kill everything, and then you have threshold defense. So yeah, very awesome. You guys should come and play it and show me your FPS skills if you have any.
I have none.
Challenge thrown down. Let's play.
I'll practice, I guess. I need to practice in some other games like Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon first. I'll get there, maybe.
This would be a good practice because it's third person FPS. Like, sorry, it's not really FPS. It's
a third person
FPS.
FPS.
Yes, it's all the shooting, but it's third person. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you aim, then it goes into freaking first person, which is weird. Anyway, crazy with the Minecraft as always, because that's me. I stream Minecraft sometimes. I play Minecraft all the fucking time. But yeah, not terribly much has happened other than the exciting Australian news that I'll get into later.
Yeah.
Don't want to spoil it first.
I'm sure it'll be very positive and very, everyone will love hearing it.
There will be positive elements, and you'll be like, yeah, Australia.
And then you'll just drop all the negatives right on our heads.
Drop that bomb.
All right, stream queen. She's a stream queen.
Also, I got new posters for my room. I still need more. I only have like 4.
Only 4? That's it?
Yeah.
And then she's only 4.
Only 4?
Well, the last place I lived had an annoying policy of no posters or pictures on the walls.
Oh, that's stupid.
How very annoying. So I'm taking my freedoms. Yeah, they hated everything. Blue tack, tape, command strips, anything. They're like, it'll leave marks. No, it doesn't. You can remove blue tack with more blue tack. It leaves no marks.
Yeah, that really does suck.
Yeah. So now I have posters. I'm slowly getting more posters.
Yay.
I have a Halo 4 poster. Because I managed to get a hold.
I was going to say, all you have to do is like...
Oh. For all of those that like Halo 4, it's the limited edition box set with all the stuff in it. of awesomeness.
Halo 4 is okay.
I very rarely have loot.
It didn't need to have anything to do with Master Chief.
Sir, how dare you?
like Bungie says, okay, we're gonna end the trilogy perfectly. We're gonna just tighten the bolts around the vault.
It is the end of that trilogy
surprise,
to announce
back.
the next trilogy. It's literally there. Hey guys, we're releasing the Forerunner series. This is the basically prequel to that, but yet ending of the already going series.
Have a problem with them keeping Halo going.
Halo is going to be milked.
Be careful.
Make a new Master Chief, new Spartan, whatever.
But then you can't have that like love story going on. Jeez.
Oh,
now I just want to put like little lightning
posters.
bolts that go in between your cameras, like.
What? Master Chief
War.
Yep.
War.
Wants to get in her hard drive. She wants to use his hard drive on her.
Cat has her Assassin's Creed. I have my Halo. So you.
That's true. That's
I'm
true.
trying to
I
think
mean,
of
we're pretty fair.
I'm trying to think of some sort of computer metaphor, dirty metaphor for vagina, but I can't.
Like
do that.
I literally bought the
What does
Xbox
Cortana have,
for
like-
Halo.
Mainframe. That is her mainframe.
Have you
Right
played
in
the fourth
frame.
one?
Right in there.
Have you seen the end of the fourth one?
No, I haven't played it all the way through yet.
Okay, well then you would understand.
Okay.
I'm
She
just gonna
becomes
sit here and
somewhat,
just stay silent
unusual.
and shake my head.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna shut up now before I look like a complete fucking nerd. And Boston.
Wait. We don't already.
This is the Nerdcast.
I was gonna say we
Hey,
have
I'm
a whole
maintaining my
podcast.
Australian
Yeah, sure you are.
Badass illusion. Yes. Doesn't exist. Come on. Let's face it.
Fair enough.
But anyway, also, I keep bugging you guys. D&D this week.
I
How about
know.
like tomorrow? It's on stream. You gotta commit to something. Jeez.
I
week is-
messaged you last week and I was like, hey, let's
I
do
know.
this.
And I'm like, yes, I'm free all week
And
this
then I
week. It
started
is now
dying.
Wednesday for
This
me.
week's gonna be hard for
My
me.
week
I'm gonna
is
be
running
helping
out.
my dad move some stuff on Thursday and Friday.
Fair enough.
So
Okay.
I hate throwing wrenches in.
I'm gonna get this game going. It's gonna happen.
It will happen eventually.
And I have no D&D news to share either, which is normally the other part that goes on to my introductions, but
That's true.
there's just nothing to add this week.
The tabletop
No.
news
Yeah.
general.
I could go into that if you like, because there's plenty of tabletop news. There's just no D&D news.
That's your call, man.
Anyway, maybe next time. God.
Okay, so last week the reason we didn't have podcast was because I was
Because you were
actually I was dying. I was like this close to emergency room dying. Like it was bad.
And to make it worse, she tells me and then just doesn't say anything for a couple days, and I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? I don't know what's going on. And this morning, she sends me a message me like, oh hey, podcast soon. I'm like, alright, you're alive.
I am alive.
What happened?
So
Way to freak a friend out. I mean,
yeah.
come on.
It was bad. It was gruesome, very gruesome. There was blood in places that there shouldn't have been. So, enough said on that. It gets pretty gruesome itself. So, I was pretty much dead. And this week, I've been having, like, migraines beyond migraines.
Oh,
And,
Fuck.
yeah, freaking suck. But yesterday was the first day that I haven't had a migraine within the since Wednesday, last Wednesday. So I was pretty happy about that. And I've been like eating ibuprofen like candy just to keep up with
eating
it.
ibuprofen. Not taking.
You know what's worse? There's a
Eating.
brand here that they
Eating.
make in Australia
Like
that tastes
handfuls
like candy.
eating ibuprofen. Yeah. It was so bad the one day I started crunching ibuprofen.
Doesn't that taste terrible?
Yeah.
though?
I started to like,
I hate the I hate
I
the
was
taste
like-
when you have like the pills that aren't capsules. They have like
Yep.
the dust around them, and ugh.
I should send you some of the
You gotta
ones we
just-
have here. They taste like candy.
Well, good for you.
well,
Yeah.
let's just say it was
It's handy 'cause
atrocious
I get
and
migraines.
bad.
Well, as long as
so-
you're at least a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm actually much
Not
better.
dying is very positive.
Not dying.
Not dying is very positive. Yeah.
Yes. So
say in Australia, a really good day.
So within the last 2 weeks, dying has been more than half of it. LOL, David's face after you saying blood in places it shouldn't have been.
Was it Shark Week?
It's
that's places it should be.
That's why the faces.
Not
oh
places.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, places you'd expect it to be. Not
right.
Should.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I just like that Shark Week joke. I didn't make that up. That was Matt from Two Best Friends Play that did that. I like that.
Yeah, but I've been watching a lot of anime. What series did I finish? I finished a series and I can't remember what it was.
Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, speaking of, one of you guys needs to tell me another series to watch because I just finished one and I don't know what to watch.
I just told you, go watch Future Diary.
I've already seen it.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen Tokyo Ghoul?
No, I have not. I don't even know what it's about other than the
yep.
stuff that you've talked about before.
You need to go watch Tokyo Ghoul then, because it was
got all these gazillion different
so
shows
good.
on Crunchyroll, and I need to watch Our Cow.
I know that's what makes it very hard to choose because there's so many out there, and because I only really got into anime stuff like a year ago, so I have a lot of catching up to do.
Now, to be fair, a lot of these anime on Crunchyroll look completely derivative.
Shibu just linked, hey, watch this, and it was for Future Diary, and he was like, oh, that was just suggested.
Well, if they were here when I was talking about it,
yeah.
I need to get back into Toradora too. I hear that's a good one.
So the anime that I finished was a yaoi anime.
Oh, great! This is going to be the best, most engaging conversation I've heard all day. Explain your yaoi anime, Kat.
Okay, so.
In vivid detail.
Okay, so it's like Sakai Ichi Hatsuko or something, Hatsukoi or something like that. But it's World's Greatest Love is what it means in American. So Shibu is like linking all of these animes now. It's kind of hilarious.
Sugoi.
Maybe I should open up your chat.
You should open up my chat and like, because I mean, we're naming off.
Prepare for the blinding light.
Irregular at Magic High School, Agama Got Kill, Log Horizon, Out of Noah Zero.
Did they really request Log Horizon? Yeah. Where have they been for the last 2 weeks? We've been talking about it.
Then Sword Art Online. Then Black Bullet. Black Bullet was amazing.
I see Black Bullet, and I was like,
Buried Treasure.
I was curious about it.
Attack on Titan. Yeah, all of these we've mostly.
Log Horizon Season 2's coming. I want to see it.
Yeah, I know. But, yeah, this yaoi anime was 24 episodes long, and I wish I could have that part of my life back.
Oh, was it that bad?
Okay, so essentially, I thought it was going to be kind of like, Gravitation, which was a actually decent romance.
Oh, God, Gravitation.
And yeah, so I really thought
Gravitation. My sister made me watch it.
Okay, so I really did think it was going to be good, but and realized that 90% of this anime, literally 90% of this anime, was the person going, no, I love you, but I don't want to say I love you, but I don't want to love you, and I can't love you, why? Literally 90% of the anime.
Okay.
So, I could actually summarize this entire anime in 4 episodes. First episode, characters meet, and it's been 10 years since they've met. Another character meets because they have a job, because there's 3 couples in the entire series. So, all of the main characters meet their significant others in the first episode. Second episode, they go through their denial for each other, and then they go on their first date. Okay, third episode, they boink, they argue, they go back to boinking, they go back to arguing, they kiss and make up, and then the fourth episode is they live happily ever after. Done. 24 episodes of this shit. I was like, oh my god, kill me.
That sounds like the most predictable soap opera ever.
It was so bad. So bad. I was like, why? Why are people saying this is some of the best yaoi they've ever watched? I was like, God, Oh dear God, what rock do you live under? I mean, it was atrocious. It was so bad. It was so bad. So
Sounds pretty bad.
Did you get a palate cleanser after that?
Yeah,
watch an anime that's actually good.
I actually ended up watching the like season finales for the spring season. Or is it? No, this is the summer season. Sorry.
Yeah, this is the summer.
So Aldnoah Zero, watched everything of that. Amazing, phenomenal. Oh my God, heart-wrenching amazingness. Like you just want to vomit like rainbows and yumminess.
What was this called again?
ALDNOAH. Ald Noah Zero.
Okay.
And it's on Crunchyroll.
Interesting.
And then watch
To resub the Crunchyroll. So many things.
I can send you a 48-hour passes. Ooh. I have so many that I haven't used.
I don't pay for that stuff. I just watch
Shinies
it when it's for free.
Yeah.
As you can tell, I love the shinies, and this week I've got lots of them, and I want to keep getting them.
So then, Sword Art Online, huge disappointment this week. Huge disappointment.
Again,
it's actually, like, come on, it's reminding me of DBZ.
Really? Because DBZ's actually okay. I can...
No. In the whole... Okay. We start here, okay? Here's where we should end. Okay? So, character is here. We're having this big argument and conversation about how they're going to take down the boss that's here. Okay. They get that far in the episode.
Oh, so it's like a million episodes for a really simple story, right?
That's
yeah,
really
it's like
bad.
that. It's like that Frieza's Super Saiyan joke.
Yeah, it was.
How many Super Saiyans does it take to screw in a light bulb? One, but it takes 5 episodes.
Yeah, it was like, why? Like, why? Because it's like, okay, I understand that you want to get character development. I understand that you want this, like, huge, like, love interest to build and all this kind of stuff. Okay, fine. I understand that. You guys poured your heart out in the last episode. You explained everything that was going on. Why did you take literally 15 minutes of a 23-minute episode to then reiterate your plan?
Wait, what love interest? The new girl?
The new girl!
What happened to the old girl? I thought
the old girl is still there. It's weird. It's weird. I feel icky.
So weird.
I know.
He just gushed over her in the whole last season. Why is he finally interested in this other lady?
I don't know.
That makes no sense. That makes zero sense.
Exactly. So then, after watching Sword Art Online, I needed another plate cleanser. Really did. So I watched Agama Ga Kill, which was also phenomenal.
Okay, go ahead.
And then Monthly Girls Niyozaki actually Nozaki, yes, ended for their season finale, and it was so cute. But again, it's another one of those animes where I was kind of like, I could have summarized this entire thing in like 4 episodes. Why do I watch 12? It was still really good. Like, I watched it each week. It was still really good, but at the end of it, you were kind of like, I kind of expected a little bit more. Like, I expected I expected, like, a meal, not an appetizer. And I ended up getting the appetizer. So, but yeah. And then, off of anime that I watched, I did another podcast, which is every 2 weeks. A friend of mine is hosting that's called O-Talk. And he's been running it for, like, 3 or 4 years now. And they're on episode over 100.
Wow. And
it's not video, it's all audio, so you can find it on like iTunes and all that kind of stuff. But I'm officially their third host. So
nice.
Yep, it's every other week though, which kind of screws me up because I'm so used to like ours being like every week we have to do this.
For the most part, anyway.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of been every other.
Yeah.
It really has been. It's weird. Hopefully I'm not dying next week.
Would be great. Just fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So as for like what I've been into, Smite Alternative got into a weekday schedule, not a weekend schedule. So it's now like constantly on Smite Alternative. on top of streaming on my regular channel and playing Archage, which is free to play, absolutely amazing, a little overwhelming. It's like very overwhelming. When you first get into the game, you're just like, what? And then you're like, okay, so let's do a little bit of research. It doesn't take much. It just takes a little bit, maybe like 10, 15 minutes of research. And then you can start playing. And it's absolutely phenomenal for it being a free-to-play game. There's so much. There is so much. It's one of those things that they already have housing, they already have land, they already have, like, boats, they have farms, they have quests that go on forever. You have, like, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Everything that they have in this game, and it's free to play. I mean, it's... Yeah, a chat right now is blowing up, going, Archage is my life right now, Archage is life, Archage is addicting as fuck. Like, this is... I don't say this is the WoW killer, but this is definitely going to be one of those games that I think is going to stay around for a long time. Other than ESO, awesome, because ESO had that feel when you got into it that was like, okay, this game is amazing.
Yeah.
But... what do you have? What content do you have? This is giving you so much content that you're just like, dude, what the fuck? Where do I start? What do I do? So
sounds like fun.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. And
damn my eye.
This is the WoW killer. This game. I know. Scratch that. No, scratch that. Button. This game. I'm reading chat right now. Is the Eve... Okay, yeah. It is actually the... You take Lineage 2 and you take Eve and you smash them and you have this love child.
I'm gonna say something controversial, but Eve was the Eve killer. Just saying.
It's so true.
I'm sorry, but there are so many space games from even 10 years ago that are better in every way.
Yeah.
Freelancer is one of them.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But, so yeah. There's been like a lot going on, like within just this week.
Watch the hate roll in, by the way.
Oh no, disagreeing opinions theory.
But it's definitely a game that, for being free to play, everyone should at least roll and check it out. There's no reason not to. Absolutely no reason not to. Let's see. What else is... I think that's mainly been it this week. And last week. Like I said, most of it was dying. And being in bed for a long, long period of that.
Yeah. It's been a bummer.
Yeah. It's been actually quite a bit of a bummer for that. So, sad. Sad face, yes. But oh well.
Sad face for everybody.
Yeah. It's free to play, but you're gonna spend all your money. Yeah. Okay, I did see a question in chat really quick. So 2 questions. What is the worst, or what is the best worth watching anime? And tell me about Hunter x Hunter, because I'm still watching it like 10 years and still...
Hunter, huh?
I've never watched Hunter x Hunter.
I've never watched it. I mean, they had a preview of the manga in Shonen Jump a long time ago, and it's done by the guy who did Yu Yu Hakusho, and I like Yu Yu Hakusho. I think that it's a very underrated anime when it comes to, the typical shonen tournament battle stuff. But Hunter x Hunter, from what I can gather, and this is coming from someone pretty inexperienced in the series, it's not nearly as serious. It kind of has sort of more of a Dragon Ball Z kind of feel than a Yu Yu Hakusho feel. I think it's been going on for a long time, and personally, it doesn't seem interesting to me. But I know the fact that it's been going on for so long means that it must be interesting to someone.
Right.
So, because for what was the other one? The best anime, or what was it?
What is the best worth watching anime?
Like right now,
People will probably
or
disagree with
of
me,
all time.
but I'm a say High School of Dead. That's the one I started with, and that's why I like anime now.
That's definitely an interesting one.
It's
That
a
one
pretty
really
good
caught
one.
on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the best worth watching anime.
Zombie genre.
And the fact is that if you're saying in general, then that's really hard.
In general, it's
years
personal
upon
preference,
years
I
upon
guess.
years upon years of work. So I'm just gonna try and condense it to just what is good right now.
Oh,
And
can I change my answer? Dragon Ball
Yes.
Z Abridged.
I really don't know.
It still
so many of
counts.
them.
It still counts.
Panty and Stocking's great. I recommend that.
It was pretty good.
I will not recommend Naruto.
Someone in chat, as soon as you said Naruto, put Naruto with Kappa face.
No. Listen. There was the most recent. The two best friends play guys did a new episode of where they played Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Revolution or whatever, and the whole time they were just shitting all over Naruto, and I felt so good hearing that because they were addressing all the problems. They made the obligatory filler content joke. They made the obligatory these new villains look stupid joke, like the girl made out of Post-its. Conan or whatever her name is. It's just I look.
I had a feeling when I saw that. I was like, "What?"
I look at all of this Naruto fandom and I'm like, it used to be good. It used to be completely fine, but then they just started getting stupid. Like these new and they made the joke like Toby has an asshole for a face, and I'm like, he does. He really does.
Really does.
And then we got this new the Madara person who is whatever. And they said, "What about the Great T race?" Filler joke. It's just
Oh, have you seen the latest filler? That was fucking stupid.
I don't watch Naruto because it's not good anymore.
I do. Because it's fucking hilarious, and I like
the part where they just tanked was after the Sasuke Naruto fight where he uses the Fox and Orochi curse thing. Everything after that was just. First of all, it was a ton of filler. Second of all, Shippuden is dumb. I mean, there's no thought to anything that's going on in Shippuden. It just happens, and I just cannot take it seriously. And the characters, I don't care about the characters. I mean, the main characters are the only ones. I don't care about Kiba and his frickin' dog. I don't care about other characters who are not powerful whatsoever. The Krillins of the Naruto world.
Which is pretty much everybody else.
Well, actually, Krillin's kind of interesting because at least, he's funny. Yamchas of the Naruto world. I don't care about them. They're weak. They're annoying. They don't do anything except run their frickin' mouth. And at least when Krillin runs his mouth, it's somewhat funny because he's been around in the series forever. So this is just me shitting all over Naruto because I was a Narutard. I have my headband somewhere in my house.
Mine's sitting on my bookshelf back there.
And I don't feel ashamed saying this because Kat shares my viewpoints on this. She used to be a Naruto too, and she completely agrees with me. And judging from David's laughing, he agrees with me too.
I do, and the hilarious part is I still watch it.
I mean, I like Bleach more than Naruto, and Bleach has a lot of its own problems. It suffers from a lot of the same problems as Naruto. Like, it has all these characters that I know are not strong whatsoever, so I just don't care about them.
I know, right? They try to make you. It's so frustrating.
And Naruto is kind of suffering from the One Piece syndrome. They keep continuing it hundreds and hundreds of episodes. I mean,
it's about to wrap up soon.
At least Naruto knows that. Okay, that's enough. But then
they know they're dead. Finish
then
it.
They're gonna just send a ton of money to whoever does Naruto. Who is it? Takahashi? I don't know who does that. But someone just sends all this money, and he's like, I really don't want to work on Naruto anymore. Can you? And then they bring him the money, and he's like, it's like they got me on a leash. This money leash. It's the same thing that happened with Toriyama and DBZ. That's why we keep getting all these movies and all these little OVAs where we find out Vegeta has a brother, and I'm like,
oh my god.
What?
No, that what you just said.
Like, if you want to sort of have this sort of reunion OVA, where you just have all the characters and they're just for old time's sake, that's fine.
The reason I would
but
watch
why does
that is
Vegeta have a brother?
Somehow made it Nappa. I would watch it then.
If they brought Nappa back.
If they somehow made Nappa his brother, I'd be like, oh, I'll watch that because
that would be stupid. But
that's why I would watch it.
Hey, Vegeta, what's up?
God damn it, Nappa. It would also make that make more sense.
There's that scene in Dragon Ball GT where all the people are coming back from the dead and Nappa's there, and Vegeta just goes up to him and he's like, you should skip town, Nappa, and he just blows him the fuck away. That I posted a comment on YouTube that said that is the equivalent of being at level 99 and then going to the level 1 area and just wrecking everything. Because that's what that scene's like. But I mean, Naruto's going on too. I don't even know what's going on in One Piece, and I really don't care because I'm just like, how long has that been going on? Like 500 freaking episodes or something.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I think that that's the thing with those kinds of shows. The creators don't want to end it. They don't want to say, okay, we're going to wrap this up and make it good. It just goes on and on, and nothing important is left. That's why I like Fooly Cooly.
It will continue.
6 episodes, and it's perfect.
Okay, so apparently there's another yaoi anime that I need to watch that's even better than the last one, and it's called Love Stage.
Whatever that is.
Interesting. Never heard of it.
I'm not sure if I really want to waste my life away again, though.
Yeah, you're taking a chance there.
I'm really taking a chance.
Don't do it.
Sounds like you would be. But at the same time, are you curious enough?
I don't
watch Yuri anime. It's like I don't want to do that.
Maybe if it's like only like 12 episodes, maybe.
Maybe.
I can do that. I can.
Something you can watch in
your stomach that much.
Okay, so actually, if you don't mind, I'm gonna throw things off for a loop, seeing that we're in such an anime like topic right now. I'm just gonna start going into anime news.
Okay.
And then we can like backtrack onto normal topics.
That's fine.
Go nuts.
Okay, so something I found for anime news is that because it was brought up in the chat, I'm actually gonna read. Hunter x Hunter author continues to struggle with health problems.
Oh, that's sad.
They actually are going on they've been on a hiatus, but they're actually coming out and saying it's going to be an even longer hiatus. Which, this might actually be the end of Hunter x Hunter.
Well,
depending if the author pulls through. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, hearing about how these creators of things are in health conditions, that's because I remember Masahiro Sakurai, the guy who was behind Super Smash Brothers, he was having a lot of arm injuries when he was working on the game, and they were getting very, very serious. And people were saying, Sakurai, stop working just for a second. We want Smash Bros, but we don't want you to die.
Right.
So I can kind of see, I can see the trouble that, because they're working so hard, they got to make deadlines, they got to do all that.
But apparently the anime is actually ending.
Yeah, that doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah, so for those who were in the chat channel asking about Hunter x Hunter, it will be ending soon. The manga seems like it's going to still continue, but that's depending on how the health with the author is going. So, something I found absolutely hilarious. Death Note is getting a musical.
A musical. It better have heavy metal.
Really?
They better get Maximum Hormone on the frickin' soundtrack.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of amazing.
It's actually getting like a musical, like a stage performance musical.
Wow.
So we get to see like Ryuk sing.
I've heard of some weird musicals being created, so I mean, this isn't that far.
Why does everything need to be a musical? Like,
because they want to
maybe if I knew what kind of music they would be made for, like,
I don't know, but there's apparently like an actual like musical being made, so that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be very interesting.
Potato chip song. Potato chip song.
Oh dear God!
Oh, do it. Do it.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Okay, so for anyone who is huge fans of Log Horizon, like me, and
Like me.
Yep.
It's your fault though, Kat.
I know.
Kat got me to do this show.
Log Horizon Season 2 is listed for 25 episodes.
Ooh, nice.
So that's what was the first season? Wasn't it like 26?
Yeah, it was like
So it's regular season length.
yeah. So, but
it's good.
I mean, it did have like a rumor of 12 episodes, but I knew it wasn't.
That's stupid. Why would they do that?
Yeah. They have more than enough content that they can pull 26 episodes. More than enough.
Yeah, I saw that on the wiki they explained the story that's been in the light novels but not been in the anime yet. And I'm like, this is really interesting, and I'm curious to see how it happens.
So, I'm kind of upset about this. Apparently Tokyo Ghoul has been delisted for 2014 because it was supposed to be in the winter.
So they're, I guess, delaying it to next year?
Yeah, it's being listed for January 2015.
That's not too far.
It's not too far, but if it means
Still
one
sucks.
pushback, it might mean another.
Well, hopefully not.
Any number of them can happen.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure what caused that or what's happening with that.
Yeah.
But it
Tell
is
us.
saying that it is being delisted for the winter season. So
That sucks.
yeah, because originally it was being listed for winter 2014, but now it's not. It's going to be spring 2015. I don't know. So because I have to, I really have to. I have to go through this because I just, yeah. Otaku name anime's 10 sexiest guys.
About that guy from
Alex, you and me are gonna have to make
Beelzebub.
a girl version of this
Yeah.
because
Oh, the sexy. I don't care.
Okay, so
The
number
sexiest
10,
guys. Okay, list them off.
Hitman's Koya Hibari. Yeah.
Whatever that is.
I've never seen Hitman, so I don't know. City Hunters Ryu Seba.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, I've never seen City Hunter either. Freeze Haruka Nanasa? Haruka Nanasa? I've never seen Free.
Yeah,
so
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Attack on Titan Levi.
I don't watch that either, so. Sorry, chat. Don't mean to hurt your
Jeez.
feelings.
Yuta no Prince Sama's
my question is, was this list just made by some random person, or is it like a voted on?
no, it was like
community
voted
thing?
on. Like this was
Cool.
like over a
So they're all
thousand.
going to be new ones.
Sort of.
Okay.
So
Probably.
Yuta no Prince Sama's, I have no idea what anime that is. Guji Ren, I guess his name would be. Gintam's Jintoki Sakata. I have no idea.
Wait, from
who he is.
Gintama?
Yeah, Gintama.
Sexy? He always has like this sort of apathetic look on his face. He's not really sexy.
The picture it shows is him topless.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, another person from Free. Gintama's Takasuji.
Gintama's like a humor series. It's like a spoof. Why are the... Whatever.
Yeah, so
Tama.
was it Shinjuku?
Oh, this list sucks. This
Yeah.
list is pretty bad.
And then number 1 is Black Butler's Sebastian. Which I can agree with that. Because I like Sebastian.
Okay. Thought you were gonna say Grell.
No.
Grell looks like a girl.
Girl, yeah.
But I think that's the point. But that's okay.
That is the point.
I think that is the point to a few things they do.
Okay, and now we're gonna go with the sexy ladiest.
Oh.
Top 10?
This one I'm interested in.
Kuroko's Basketballs, Satsuki Momoe. High School DxD, Ria's Grimori.
I don't know who that is either.
Durara's Selty, yeah.
The girl without a head?
Yeah.
That's kind of perverted. I mean, okay, Durarara was an interesting series. I mean, like, there was the guy, the doctor, Shinra, or what was his name? He wanted to marry Selty, even though she was a Dualhan without a head.
Interesting.
Like,
really fucking weird.
And then, I swear, I don't know if anyone in the chat has seen the end of Durarara, but there is a scene where Selty, since she's sort of like a mysterious mythological creature, she's able to magically make her clothes vanish into a bikini, and then she starts sunbathing, and she has no head.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the guy just gets nervous, and I'm like, I don't even...
Yeah, she apparently is number 8.
To be fair, it's like, you know, they're consenting, like they were going to get married, but like, she has no head. That's kind of fetishy.
Yeah.
Fucking strange.
So, Gintama's Sukoya.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Kaon's Mio.
Oh, Kaon.
So, Kaon, Mio, Akayama.
Oh, the mole just is everywhere in Kaon.
One Piece's Boa Hancock.
Okay. I don't know
Also,
who that
someone
is.
that doesn't seem to have a head in this picture.
I just thought it was gonna be Robin, but like, I don't know who Boa Hancock is.
I have no idea. Urusai Yatsura Yum or Lum.
That's an old series.
That is really old, but Lum. Wasn't she the girl that had?
She was the main character.
Yeah, but she wore like the 2-piece with the animal
leopard print.
Yeah. Okay. Macross F's. Cheryl Noah.
I don't know who that is.
Finally, a show I know.
Second place is One Piece Name.
Well, that's because they changed her costume to show ample cleavage.
And then the last one is Lupin the Third's Fujiko.
Why are there so many older series in this one but not the other one?
Well, think about it. Girls go after the pretty things, and guys probably go after the nostalgia. Like, what would be the
Guys aren't that smart. No.
Yeah, but if you think about it, when you... Really, come on. Let's think about it for 2 seconds. If there was a pair of anime boobs that was the first pair of anime boobs that you've ever seen, and you fell in love with, okay?
You'd remember them.
You would remember them.
Yeah.
Is Grim here? Because I'm not going to say anything if he's here.
On top of the fact that you would remember your first pair of anime boobs, guys tend to stick with something that they know and something that they like.
Oh.
Okay.
And girls tend to go after the thing that's the new and pretty. So it makes sense that
I agree completely with all of this.
That the girls list would be newer stuff that has very like boyish boy attitude, like free. Because I know that's apparently a
thing,
a fangirl heaven. Where the guys list is going to be more actual precise, hey look, this is like something we like and this is something we like.
In episode this and this.
Yeah. Alex is just like
I don't know I don't know how to argue against
Yeah, but also think about the animes that in which these girls are coming from.
To argue it.
I mean, guys are going to watch a particular set of anime compared to what girls are going to watch.
Fair enough.
So,
oh yeah.
I mean, yeah. The lum part kind of weirded, like, that threw me off. That's... I can understand... I can understand Lupin the Third.
Anime boobs. I don't remember mine.
Come on, chat. What was your first pair of anime boobs?
Is it wrong that I know how to answer this?
This was like when I would have remembered this when I was like in middle school, but then like the character over time is now like 25 in the sequel series, so whatever.
What? My first pair of anime boobs?
Oh, she's going for it.
Continue. We're listening.
It means we have to answer.
Grim, go away. I know you're there.
He doesn't want this all over Twitter.
Seriously, what were your first?
Faye.
Just this question.
Faye, Cowboy Bebop.
I'm gonna have to say Ghost in the Shell. Main character.
The main
yeah,
That's the first anime I watched too, so yeah, I remember those for a while.
Yeah, mine was definitely Faye, Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember those
Alex,
too.
yours.
Mine?
Yeah, we both answered this.
Hey, I betted it.
I don't like. Okay, real boobs. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to remember all the shows that I was watching when I was a.
Hey, whoa. She didn't say real boobs, she said anime boobs.
I don't know.
It's
I kind of
anime
liked
boobs.
Ellie from Rave Master was pretty good. Although now in the new, in the little Rave Master Cross Fairy Tale OVA, she looks even more buxom for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I guess. I mean, I'm trying to think of like when I was mature enough to understand the appeal, while also, you know.
You're overanalyzing this. Just pick a pair of boobs.
I just picked Ellie. Why not?
Okay. You're overanalyzing this.
Hey, this is serious business. What's the chat say?
It was first anime boobs on a Flash game on Newground.
Well, there's a lot of those, and a lot of them aren't even real games. They're just...
Yeah. Shibu said it's got to be the lady with the scroll in Future Diary.
The scroll. Wait, the scroll? That girl's like freaking 15 years old. Like the girl in the kimono. Is that what that is?
They might be the same age as that person. Who knows?
Well, she's
Do you
dead.
know the age
She's
of this
also
person talking?
blind. And she's the girl who told those other guys to start raping the other girl.
Okay.
I thought they were going to talk about the other Future Diary, like the psychopathic girl with the eye patch, but I guess not.
Everybody's got preferences, Alex. Jeez.
Yeah.
Some of them prefer crazy kimono blind girls who tell people to rape other girls. I'm not judging.
You seem to be focusing on that a lot.
So he said, I'm not saying it's my favorite, I'm just saying it's the first ones I've seen.
That what I think I know exactly the scene that they're talking about, and I'm like, yeah.
Honestly though, like if I think back on it, there was Ryoko from Tenchi Muyo. That was another one.
Well, you saw a lot of that, I'll admit that.
It's bad that I'm formulating a list in my head now.
Yes, it really is. Now you have to say every single component of that list on the air to all of these people.
Right now.
Nah, we won't put you on
Maybe
this.
in a vlog.
In a vlog. Okay.
I'll make a whole vlog for you guys.
That's awesome.
Any other news relating to...
I'll have a list and be like, alright, so this is the list, and I'll read them one by one.
That's gonna be the title of this anime, this show this week. Anime boobs.
Favorite anime boobs.
Well, people watch it, and it's like, oh, will there be some?
Ooh, I should make a whitewash pair of boobs now.
I just have that.
I have like a giant whitewash board that's like 5 by 3.
Oh, it's gonna be like
Confuse the hell out of them and just put
it's like the reply girl philosophy.
Make them go.
You know, click here if you.
You'll get so many clicks.
Yep. Click, like,
So many clicks.
I've been deceived. Thumbs down.
Oh.
Hey, a million thumbs down is just as good as a million thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Yeah, at least they watched the video. That's how we're gonna rock with that.
So, we continue on, moving on. What's going on?
That was pretty much it for anime, except for the fact that like the fall season starts.
season finale is next week. Well, actually, it's the series finale, I think. So.
Yeah.
Shall we jump into scary Australian news?
Okay.
Okay, it's time to get serious with you guys.
Serious?
Okay, so
it's time to get serious.
Yes. So I imagine you guys and most people in America keep up with the whole ISIS terrorist cell / Islamic Nation thing they put on. A offshoot of them basically attempted a terrorist attack on Australia last week. To go into more depth,
Keyword attempted?
Attempted, yes. Our National Security Agency has been tracking all the people that they know that have joined that group that came from Australia. And last week, a whole lot of them all of a sudden started flooding in. So they were like, okay, we'll let them in, we'll track them all down. And they finally discovered where all their stuff was. And they conducted a simultaneous 25 raids on 25 different compounds and took several hundred members of this group. And also found the plans inside one of the buildings that the day they did the raid, they planned to do a public execution in Martin Place, which is like 10 minutes from me, maybe more. Not that much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Basically, they had planned to walk up to our basically central business district, grab some random person off the street, and behead them in front of everybody. That was the plan.
Way to be a downer, David. Way to be a freaking downer. Seriously, though, that's terrible.
Part of this is our National Security Agency, called ASIO, managed to track and find every single one of them that entered the country, even ones that entered through non-legal means and whatnot. Find them all, get all of them, and put them all behind bars. / kill a couple, as you go. And it's crazy because days before we all heard about this, ASIO raised our national threat level from low to high, and that's the first change we've had in 11 years. Like, we don't get threats on our country because people don't really think about us that often when it comes to global terrorism and stuff. So it was a really big deal, and people were just like, "Holy fuck, they're here!" And we're like, "No, we got them. It's fine. It's fine." And it's pretty crazy. Apparently they were doing it because we started to pledge a lot of help towards the fight against them, both in like aid personnel and military help and whatnot, because your country is conducting systematic air raids now and sending over support personnel, and other countries are helping out, like the French are doing air raids as well. And our country just pledged a whole lot of support because we have an agreement with your country. Whenever you go into battle or you have any sort of military action, we help out with pretty much whatever we can. It's our agreement between the countries. So we pledged to help, not like we're gonna fuck you up.
Nice.
Work. So one time I have serious, but actually somewhat happy news from Australia. Yes, we call it the bad guys. We rock. That's right. Don't fuck with us.
Don't fuck with Australia.
They will fuck you up.
Apparently.
Yes. Oh yeah, and it was pretty cool. Because I've been tracking this thing the whole time, and like I was talking to people here, most people weren't even talking about it, and I'm like, this is a serious thing. Why is nobody caring? I think it comes down to it's just Australia, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I do have a question.
Yeah, sure.
I know how you mentioned this a little while, not this time, but a while ago. Are you starting to watch the news more and more since we were hey, you have the Australian news?
That too, yes. I actually had to go and look online for most of this stuff because it wasn't even coming up in our news channels. They were just ignoring it. Like there was a press release from our Prime Minister and our head of national security. Like he's a known person. We don't. This is not our secret agency we're talking about. Like he's the guy that's come and gone. Shit, it's fucked up. And I had to go and find this video because I saw a small headline in a newspaper on the 10th something page that no one reads, and this was a serious thing. And then a couple days ago, massive raids start happening. So. People need to pay more attention to this stuff. It's a serious global problem. It's a global crisis. I mean, these people have come in from parts of Iran, Iraq, and bordering places, and they annexed a fucking city. And they've just gone, everyone here follows these exact rules, or you just die, regardless of who you are. And they've even started doing things like they've now just gone into the schools and gone, you can't teach anything except for this and this. There's no science, there's no math, there's no anything but religion. That's it. Religion and lunch. That's pretty much it.
Wow.
And it just keeps getting worse for the people that are there. They can't leave, otherwise they get executed. So, it's really the world needs to help, and no one really was until America, your country, which sort of seems to become like the world's police, even though you shouldn't be. No one country should be responsible for that, but you kind of have to become that.
Why us though? It kind of seems like
it's because you actually do have one of the strongest military forces and presences. Like,
well, yeah, because our country's full of morons.
With more troops, you have the country with the most up-to-date gear and the most up-to-date vessels and planes and whatnot. So there was, for a long time before the whole economic crisis thing, where you guys were the military power in the world. That's changing. It's changing not so slowly anymore, but people still view you as that. And because your presidency at the moment has a very, if you threaten America, we will fuck you up policy, that's pretty much what he said in one of his press releases that I was watching the other day.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I watched those. Don't ask why. Yeah,
because now you're interested.
Exactly. And it's basically the second any organization, whatever, is a threat to your country, you're going to do whatever you can to wipe them out before they become an actual threat to your country.
Huh.
So they commit to things like this ISIS problem. Yeah. So initially they sent in military personnel and aircraft to get all Americans out of the country that they could, and now they're stepping it up. So they're waiting for the go-ahead from the coalition that you guys have formed to basically just go, all right, let's just start bombing the fuck out of these people. Yeah. It's insane. Also, have you guys been keeping up with the whole Ebola news stuff?
No, but I've heard of this and was
maybe my segment should change to just world news.
I mean, yeah, at this point, your world news is just... But I still swear that this whole Ebola news thing is some person in the world is playing the plague.
Yeah, I love that game too, and it looks like my strategy at the moment as well that I use.
Someone is just playing the plague.
Days before they announced this, I played the plague, and my thing was called Ebola.
Oh my god! Oh. This is your fault, Cardinal. This is all your fault.
Look what you did, David.
I have news on this too. If you'd like me to talk about it.
Yeah, go ahead, because
if you want to, so, how'd you do it?
Suddenly, all of a sudden, we see like a party raid coming into our houses. What are you talking about?
From a laboratory in America, and then I detonated it over Africa. Because why not? Also, in my game, I always start in Africa because it's the lowest wealth country with the lowest medicine and stuff. So
just explain it.
Anyway. Okay, so basically, there are something like 1,500. There are like 1,500 reported deaths and an insane amount of cases that are already people that are infected and getting worse. And no one was doing anything about it for a while. You guys might have heard about, you had an American doctor and nurse over there, and they got it. They both had it. They were both in the stages of like dying. Hang on a second, my voice is going weird. And the company, there's a company in America that makes antidotes. And they managed to make one dose of it, and they sent it over there and said, look, we only have enough for one of you right now. We don't know if it works. You can try it. So the doctor, as brave as he was like, you know what, I've had a good career and whatever. She'll be able to do more in her future. Let her take it. And she's like, perfectly fine. It cured the thing, like, boom, right off the bat. Took a couple days, and like they brought them both back to America, which was a big thing also, because people were like, oh my god, don't bring it fucking here, just let them die over in another country or something. So since then they've started rolling out a bit of a vaccine. They've been able to make 1,500 doses, which is not much, but it's a start.
As long as it works.
Your military,
it does work, right?
It does work, and incredibly well. Your military, the American military, has committed several thousand personnel to go over there and set up treatment stations and quarantine zones. So your military is going over there. They're basically setting up all the quarantine zones for the country. Okay. Yes?
I might have missed something, but where is there?
Africa.
Okay.
Right, yeah, sorry. I assume people knew. My bad. China has committed a mobile research station, which is basically just a mobile lab of scientists that are going to find and take samples and try to make better cures and be able to, make a mass, dosage sort of thing. Our country has committed a lot of personnel to go over and help with setting up the treatment centers and the quarantine zones and general policing and whatnot, because that's what needs to happen. I think the French sent some people.
Okay, and there's been some problem more. I have with all this.
Yeah? Mm-hmm.
This is a bunch of different countries committing to a single cause.
Okay, so
that's a problem.
I'm just taking this I'm very skeptical that this is actually happening. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's hard to believe that they're actually doing this.
Okay, so there is actually a unified command, and it is your government. Basically, again, your government and being Obama in general pioneered the campaign to get other people on board and go, look, we're helping out. Is there anything you can do? Just send some people, send some stuff, whatever. Just let us do it.
That's good.
It's okay,
I mean,
you don't have
stuff's happening.
Yeah. So literally, only people are only helping out when your guy goes to them, like one-on-one with their president, and goes, "Help me out, bro." Putting it lightly, without all the politics involved.
I'm sure there's,
so it's taking a while to go. The countries that helped out originally, that's because they already have treaties in general. Like because our country has as a very in-depth treaty with America. When you guys do stuff militarized, which I talked about earlier for the terrorism thing, we help out because we want to, and we should because, we have something like 60% of the world's resources left. Like most of it's been used up when it comes to metals and, coal and all that sort of crap. So, we will soon have a responsibility to help out more than we are. Because we have a lot of land and a lot of farmland. But yeah, so that's how that goes right now. So we're sort of waiting to see what happens from this. I don't know if the African government actually gave anyone permission to do all of this crap. There's been no side of it, but because it's being considered an epidemic, they just gone, well, it's in the interest of world health, so you can't really say no. It's that or we technically nuke.
They're probably concerned with all of this foreign influence. That's, people from another country just coming into the
however,
I can understand that. But they're helping people get well again. So
exactly. And also from an infrastructure point of view, Africa has none. And we're coming in and literally building hospitals and low grade, treatment hospitals and stuff. So that we're building a lot of things that when we leave, they're going to be able to use and they're going to want to keep. Because they have almost nothing. Other than their main cities, they have nothing. For the price of $25 US, you can get electricity hooked up to one of the houses, but none of them can afford it.
That's the thing. If those facilities are still there and they're going to want to keep them, then the people, then the countries that built them are going to say, hey, we built them. Are you going to pay us back? And they can't do that.
Possibly. Yeah, they can't because it's an epidemic. And there's also another issue because a lot of the charities and things that, support, these children, make villages, get clean water. The reason those things are always so ongoing is because there's a large militia sort of thing going on in that country where they just take shit. And so that's why we've had to send so many personnel or even combat personnel, because anything we build is going to be attacked and tried to be taken. So that's why so many people are going. It's not going to be just an easy walk-in, set it up. Everyone's going to be happy. There are going to be people trying to take this shit, even though we're trying to help them.
Well,
because they want it.
There's a lot of problems in Africa, especially around the human rights era.
So, there's a whole lot of problems. Like, it is the rape capital of the world. Like, it has a title now.
Well, I think that, I normally don't like the idea of just powerful countries saying, just kind of marching in and say, hey, we're going to help you, even though the other...
Yeah.
But the fact that...
In this case, the world understands because...
Well, yeah, the fact that this involvement is helping people...
Yeah.
I mean, not just like citizens, but this is just human rights.
Because imagine
people
if
have a right to not be sick and die.
When the Black Plague hit the first time. If it had hit then, and we had this tech level, it would not have been the same problem that it was. Instead of millions of people dying, it would have been a few thousand.
I I just think that every little bit of progress, I think, is good.
Yeah. And that's why we have organizations like the World Health Organization, and you guys have the CDC, Center for Disease Control. We have something, I don't even know the acronym for ours. I just don't know. I think WHO was British or something, I don't know. But yeah, so we have, like, all the different countries have acknowledged this is a problem. So,
yeah.
I mean, the African government can say no, but they're saying no to the rest of the world. I think the rest of the world.
Yeah, we know what that's like, having the rest of the world just say no to us.
And you don't take it so well most of the time.
No, we don't.
But yeah, so that's the most interesting thing in world news for the last about week. There've been the two major topics: is the ISIS terrorist threat and Ebola. So
nice.
Yes.
Shall we go into like lighter news?
Whatever. Yeah, totally.
I'll try to go into some lighter news. Probably one of the bigger news that actually just hit this morning. Blizzard cancels Titan.
What?
Titan, in case you guys don't know, was supposedly going to be the next MMO project after World of Warcraft.
Wait, wasn't this something they've been spending like years working on?
Yeah, this was officially announced years ago, and it's gone through. We don't know anything about it. It's just been there, and then it's reported that they scrapped an idea and started over. But earlier today, Blizzard just says we're canceling it. No Titan. And Kat's like shocked, and I'm thinking,
I'm like, but
hype.
But did they at least release anything saying of what Titan was?
Well, that's the thing. It was kept under wraps so tightly. They just said that we weren't involved fully in it. So, I mean, Blizzard's no stranger to canceling things. They canceled Warcraft Adventures. They canceled StarCraft Ghost, although that probably would have been bad anyway. Yeah. But Titan was supposedly going, this is right after World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft was everywhere. It was the MMO that everyone talked about. And then when they say, we're working on a new game, everyone started listening. But the fact is, we never knew anything about Titan. But Blizzard, at the end of the day, they just said, we can't really do this. And they announced it earlier today that Titan's canceled. I think that's... I mean, the whole problem I have with that is not that it's canceled, is that we really didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
It was just sort of there. And it's hard to say, but... I
mean, okay, it could... Speculating of, like, thinking of Blizzard's current mindset, they have the power to almost make anything. They have... the wealth beyond anything for MMOs. Like, they have the power. They have the manpower. They have the money. They have the facility. They have everything they would need.
And they
everything. So it would have to be something that would affect them hard enough that would be like, look, we can't produce Titan.
I don't even think it's that they can't. It's the fact that they don't want to, because
well, see, that's what I was going to say, though, is one of two things might have happened at that point. Okay. The first one being that they're going to continue to try and milk World of Warcraft. They might have gotten their numbers up. So, say the Warlords of Draenor, I think is it called? I'm not even sure. I haven't kept up with since Mist of Pandaria. But, that might have gotten, like, more numbers. So they're kind of like, well, why fix something if it's not broken? So let's put our resources into World of Warcraft and continue on with that. Or two, this might... there was never a Titan. That might be it.
Well, to be fair, it was never officially announced. But everyone knew it existed.
Just mentioned it passing a few times.
The second part of that is they might... It was either a success with World of Warcraft or a failure. Like, they might start to realize that their company is slowly sinking.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if they're trying to be like, hey, look, we're trying to produce Titan, and they're like, it's going to be a really expensive investment, and they can go, hey, look, we're just not getting the money that's backing this. Why continue to produce something that we might be bankrupt before it even produces?
Yeah, and something I definitely noticed with like World of Warcraft is losing subscribers really, really fast these days.
Oh, gotcha.
They are losing a ton of support, and it's nothing compared to the peak. Now, Titan was supposedly in the works for the last 7 years. That's a long time, and it was only until last year that they said we're starting over. Now, this could be, for one thing, two things to keep in mind. First of all, Blizzard is also who released Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm. Those are much smaller projects, but they've been successful. Right. Hearthstone, I hear so many people talking about Hearthstone. And the second thing is the fact that World of Warcraft was losing so much subscriber support could say something about the nature of MMOs in general. I think that since they started over last year, they're starting to see that MMOs are not in the same league as they were a while ago, and they're not finding that producing a AAA MMO now doesn't seem to be the best way to make money, especially when Hearthstone is everywhere.
I really have to agree with that, and looking at being the fact that I've played every MMO that has been released within the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Either beta or an alpha tester, which games have not been released. Even just playing games that have been released that are free to play. I mean, I've tested every single. You're into my genre right here. Is speaking MMOs. Of
course, yeah.
And
that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I know that you would have something to say about it.
What's happening with the MMO society, especially I'm a victim of it. Straight up, I can say I'm a straight victim of what I'm about to say, is the fact that there is so much of a turnover with MMOs. How many MMOs in the last year have I talked about and have been googly eye over? And in 3 months, I leave it. And that's what is happening with the MMO world. That's why there's not going to be one game that kills World of Warcraft. There's going to be several. And it's going to be different niche games. It's going to be
the genre.
Yeah, it's going to be niche games that collect people in different places.
Right.
It's not going to be just one game. World of Warcraft came out at the perfect time. You had essentially 3 MMOs during that time period.
It was World of Warcraft, EverQuest, and what was the third one?
RuneScape.
Actually, it was.
RuneScape.
Yeah.
It was.
That's where I was.
RuneScape was huge. I remember that.
It honestly was. And it was one of those things of, also, you kind of have to throw in that dark horse of things, of saying the games that popped up, like Dark Age at Camelot, like the underdog games that still drove people to them and away from the big AAA MMOs. Okay. So in that spectrum of things, there were really only, so we'll say 4. We have the randoms, RuneScape, EverQuest, and then WoW. Now look how many MMOs we have. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Play one a different day. Every day.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a case situation of they might have just been like, hey, look, this MMO genre is not worth it.
I do think that I think the rise of a free-to-play payment model also might have contributed to this. And I definitely think that you're right. I think that now we don't live in a centralized MMO ecosystem, because WoW was the defining one. WoW was the one that caught on everyone, but now we have all of these little niche MMOs, and it's the reason. Like I noticed that I look back at something like Star Wars: The Old Republic. No one's talking about that anymore because it was a big budget MMO, and big budget MMOs these days are not the way you do MMOs. You got to make them. You got to appeal to a certain demographic, and you got to be able to deliver something for them instead of spending a ton. You don't want to cast your net too big, and I think that's something that Blizzard was contemplating during the Titan thing, because they started making Titan right at the peak of WoW, when everyone was involved. But now, 7 years later, that doesn't seem good, because MMOs are not the same as they were back then. And is it disappointing hearing that this is a 7-year project that really no one knew anything about, finally just crashing?
Yeah, it's disappointing that people.
It's disappointing, but I can't really say
the
that
work that went into it. For the programmers, I mean, they would have been crushed. Like,
well, they started.
I know people that make games. Whenever they're told to start over or to scrap something, they're just like, but we spent all this fucking time on it.
Yeah, I think MMOs are in this situation where people are still trying to figure out how to approach them in the modern age, because 2007 is not the same ecosystem as today.
No.
And I think that's...
Internet, I'm going to lay knowledge for 1 year. Zombies and Titans seem to work really well.
Yeah, but that's going to be a fad
Right
that
there.
leaves in like 2 years. I mean,
it's 2 years of profit.
I mean, zombie hype is actually going down.
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing about zombies.
Because we first had vampire hype. Now we have zombie hype.
Hype.
I mean,
we're gonna get something new in the next.
It really is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Mecha seemed to be pulling through with Titan, which was I'm speaking of the console game Titan.
Yeah.
And so I mean.
Do you mean Titanfall?
Titanfalls, yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forget that it has fall on it.
Well, people went fucking crazy over that game. It was weird.
So, I mean, Mecha seems to be pulling a bit through a little bit. Especially seeing that we're looking also at the superhero, like, fad right now. So, I mean...
People going nuts over that. Mainly because of all the movies that come out that are really good.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now that superhero movies don't suck.
Honestly, I have to say something based on NCSoft because, well, my quote of the year, fuck NCSoft. If they only knew how hyped up that heroes and villains and superheroes were going to be, I doubt they would have canceled City of Heroes. I really doubt it.
I mean, they didn't predict the rise, and
they did not, because they canceled it to make room for Guild Wars 2 servers. And how many people are currently sitting here playing Guild Wars 2? The people that are dedicated to it, and it's not that many. So, I mean, it's one of those things that, like...
That's the hard thing. You got to be able to predict that kind of stuff, and they just...
Yeah.
They failed. Yeah.
But
they failed. They fucked up hard.
All the news. I mean, the one big news is that Destiny has come out, and it's been a commercial success. It's been selling like mad. But the critical side have said that it simply doesn't live up to the hype, and that's another thing.
Oh, really? Why?
It doesn't.
They just said that there was promised this huge world. And you really don't get that. Now, I haven't played Destiny. I one of my co-writers for Hardcore Gamer gave it a 4 out of 5. But the general consensus is that Destiny was promised as something huge, and it ended up not being. Now, if you think about it,
definitely supposed to be a giant MMO sort of thing, but it's kind of just like Halo meets Call of Duty.
I was gonna say, because all the gameplay footage of it I've seen is like. Is this a remake of Halo?
It looks like Halo.
It really does. Like, the monsters you're killing look like they've been, like, copy and pasted from the Halo world.
And the storyline is very similar. First, you meet your first enemies, and then you meet the second enemy, which is very much kind of like the Flood. Very much like them. And it progresses in the same manner as Halo did as well. So, like, I'm sitting there going, oh my god, am I playing Halo or Destiny right now?
Right.
It was still fun. It was still fun to play because it was the new game, but, you know, it wasn't...
The interesting thing about
up to the hype.
Destiny is that it is the third pillar of not living up to the hype this year. All three of the major AAA publishers have not been able to do it. Well, I would argue that building up to it, Titanfall did not live up to the hype.
No, it didn't.
So that's EA.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs for Ubisoft, which was promised to be this enormous franchise that ended up being just okay.
It's not big.
That's Ubisoft, and now Activision has Destiny. Now, the interesting thing about Destiny is that this was made by Bungie. Everyone loves Bungie. Bungie are like top class.
While we're talking about Destiny, do you want to know something sort of funny?
What's sort of funny?
It was about 2 days ago. The servers were attacked and brought down one by one across the world.
Yeah.
By some hacker group that calls themselves like Lizard Group or something. Complete fucking idiots. The last time they did something like this, other hackers got their personal information and gave it to the police, and 2 of them were arrested and now in jail. And now they're doing it again.
Is it that lizard thing crew? Or I don't know what they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's them. Those guys are dicks.
Yeah. I was watching a live stream while having everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
So Destiny is just it's we were it was hyped up too much, and there's been 2 things that have been happening this year. One is a lot of games are being delayed to 2015, and the second thing is these multi-platform juggernauts that are being marketed and pushed so hard are just ending up okay. It's a year of it's an empty year is not able to sustain its own anticipation.
Yeah. Can I also turn over the fact that I'm going to bring up a dead horse with the whole MMO situation of people are getting too used to switching games like clothes. Because it's something like along the lines that, okay, this had so much hype, this had a great following, but then if you're looking at from a streamer perspective, to keep up in the streams and to keep up in the top notch, you have to go per release.
Mm-hmm.
So people, if you're getting 3 AAA titles in 1 year, and you're pretty much looking at it like, okay, well, they started off with going, okay, this one is right here in the spring. This one right here is in the spring, and this is in the summer. You're not going to get that big of a following.
Yeah, it's kind of
I agree. There's no evergreen status of these things. You're always
although they're trying to not let the other companies get those players, because if they're launching a large game, they don't want anyone else to play any other game. They're like, play my game, it's better. So they try to release at the same time to kill the other people's profit. And
I am of the camp that this year has been outright pathetic as far as game releases. So many games are being pushed to now. There are 2. If you have a PC or you have a Nintendo console, you'll be fine because you're gonna have a ton of stuff. You got Smash Bros on Wii U, you got Smash Bros on 3DS, which is everywhere, and PC you get all the indie stuff. Mm-hmm. But if you own, I'm telling people over and over again, don't buy a next-gen console until next year. Do not buy a PlayStation 4. Do not buy an Xbox One because you are going to be bored. And even worse, guess what? Destiny, Watch Dogs, even Titanfall. Those are cross-gen games. Mm-hmm. You can play all those on your PlayStation 3, or in the case of Titanfall, you can play it on your 360. Or
and PC.
And they will end up on PC eventually.
Yep.
There is no
Destiny's already been told we're getting on PC in a year, so that already kills my
the only reason that I have a PlayStation 4 is because I wanted to get it at launch, because you wouldn't be able to find it at launch. And because I need it in case I do reviews, but I am not using it. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm playing all these PC games.
Here's the only time I will get a PlayStation 4. And this will be it. And this will be the one game I buy for it. The new Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, you bet.
Because that would be the only game I can't get on console. Or on PC, sorry. I can't get it on PC. I will want to play it. I will buy a console for that one game.
That's me and Halo right there.
And that's why I'm like waiting, because I'm not going to buy a console until that game has launched. And once that game has launched is when I will buy a console, because one, it takes out all the bugs that are in this new generation of PlayStation 4s, because I'll be waiting long enough for that to be fixed. And 2, it guarantees that I can play that game. Where if I buy a PlayStation 4 right now, and they go, oh, I'm sorry, we can't produce this game right now, it's not going to be ready for PlayStation 4, and I'm waiting a year or 3 or 4 for the new Kingdom Hearts, then it might be on, say, PlayStation 5, and I just wasted money on a PlayStation 4. So that is the only time I will buy a new console, is when that one game launches. And that is it. That is it.
Very much in the same.
It's been a year where, I mean, I play my Wii U the most out of all the next gen consoles, just because it has like Mario Kart and Smash Bros. And I love those, and Hyrule Warriors. but it's just been such a really underwhelming. Now, I'm not saying that there's nothing, but I'm saying as far as games that will make you buy a console, there isn't many. Now, I also say this knowing that people went out and bought PlayStation 4s to play Destiny. A lot of people did that.
Oh, yeah.
But I still don't agree with it. You can play Destiny on your PlayStation 3. So it's just a situation where the hype is not sustaining.
Yeah.
And, there are a lot of people who say that, these PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, they're just glorified PCs. And they are, and it's really just exclusives. And there are no exclusives for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One that mean enough to me.
Cardinal, are you
don't realize? Yeah, what?
Are you currently watching chat?
What are they saying?
You have another Halo fan. And he says to add you
Welcome,
on PlayStation.
Halo brothers.
You add him on PlayStation 3.
I don't have a PlayStation.
Oh.
Sadness.
Oh.
I would, except that as I was going to bring up, PC Master Race, bitches. I
Yeah,
want a company to bring out another like AAA computer game made specifically for the desktop PC. I know consoles are PCs. There is nothing hardware-wise different or software shit that's on there. I want them to make something for powerful computers because there are so many of us out there that build gaming computers or buy gaming computers that want to push these seats to the limit and play that awe-inspiring freaking game that you can only get on a desktop PC.
I miss the era. Okay, this is the era. I know the era you're talking about when Crysis.
Yeah.
When Crysis was gonna be that one game that just blew everything, and that's what the era I miss right there. And honestly, something I did want to bring up is the reason why I'm going so hard for Kingdom Hearts is because it's a series I know. Mm-hmm. Destiny with people buying Destiny, that's a new game. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what's going to happen.
All you have is just Bungie's pedigree.
Right.
That's all you got.
So having a new game to buy a console isn't worth the risk. Now,
that's a good point.
Like having though a backing, this is their like 8th game, Kingdom Hearts. I mean, 4th actual console game, because if you consider two, Chain of Memories, and I mean, I'm not counting the remakes because we've already seen it.
They're the same game.
So this will be the 4th actual console game of Kingdom Hearts, and that's what I know, and that's what I'm standing behind. The game might be crap, okay, whatever, it's still Kingdom Hearts. It still has the nostalgia. That's fine. I know what I'm buying.
Also, Final Fantasy 15 is apparently getting some serious dev attention now. They announced that at TGS.
Please tell me it's not Lightning.
No, it's not Lightning. It's completely different.
Yes!
It's not Girl Cloud. But there's been a lot of news regarding Final Fantasy 15, and
they released some footage.
There's going to be a demo if you buy Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, which I don't even know what that game is, but it's like some spinoff or something. So lots of attention to Final Fantasy 15. They say it's going to be accessible, so we'll see if it follows the path of 10 or the path of 13, because that had a problem. But another big bit of news that might interest you, Kat, is they've already announced the DLC for Assassin's Creed Unity.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was
they have a season pass. Now the first one is the DLC is called Dead Kings, and that focuses on Arno from Unity. But the second DLC is something that especially interested me, called Assassin's Creed Chronicles China.
Yeah.
Now,
they gave everybody a reason to buy this game.
Now, here's the thing.
Ultimate, fuck you, but buy my game. It's awesome.
The game is going to take place in China using a character that was in the Assassin's Creed Embers short animation. So it's going to be a female assassin named like Xiao Yun. Now,
it's also going to be a 2D side scroller.
It's going to be 2.5D, like the Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate game.
Okay.
Now it's clearly not going to be full price because the season pass is $30 and you get these 2 DLC and you get some like extra gear and stuff. Now, I actually wrote an article about this, and I think that this is really interesting. First of all, thank you for picking a different setting. Thank you. I'm so tired of seeing European cities. I'm so done with that. So now we have this new, it's like China. You see the pagodas, you see traditional Chinese architecture. And I think that making this a downloadable 2.5D game is smart, because it's basically Ubisoft saying, we're going to gauge this setting to see what we can do with it. And if we like it, maybe we'll make a AAA game there. Maybe.
Which would be awesome.
Sadly, you have my 15-minute warning.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at I have the clock in front of me.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
So that's good. I want them to focus on a different setting, because I'm like, put an Assassin's Creed thing in Japan or something, somewhere in Asia. I'm tired of seeing France. I'm tired of seeing England or Italy and all that.
Yeah.
They all look the same. They're only there to say, look at all these people we can put on the screen, and the frame rate doesn't drop much. That's really why they make those settings. It doesn't do anything about... It doesn't have anything to do with the setting itself. It's just a way for them to fulfill their crowd fetish.
Right.
All these people they have on the screen. So I think that what they can do is, if they take this new China setting and kind of make a game that doesn't cost too much to make, because it's downloadable and it's not super AAA budget, if in the case it doesn't work out, well, they're not losing a ton of money.
Right.
But if it does work out and people like it and people like the style and they like the setting, maybe they'll put some money in the next one towards a AAA release in that same setting. So it's a way for them to gauge interest, but they're not going to be investing a ton of money.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, then they're not going to be like, okay, we wasted all this money on something we didn't like. So
nice.
So I think that's smart. I think that's actually Ubisoft, doing good. And it's going to be a standalone DLC.
Yeah, what was it? Liberation?
No, that wasn't that was an original game, like the Freedom Cry.
Freedom
DLC,
Cry. That's what I'm thinking.
Or Ubisoft's really good at standalone DLC. They made Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, so.
Yep.
And I think that I like standalone DLC. I think that it's good because there are some alternative twists on things that people don't want to buy the full game for. I know Saints Row 4 is going to get the Get Out of Hell DLC, and I loved Saints Row 4. And I think that it's good. It's accessible. It lets people say, okay, I don't need to spend $50 on this other game to get this other game.
Right.
Same thing with Infamous. So it says now I'm looking up the news and all that. I guess the only other thing is that everyone's talking about Smash Bros. For the 3DS this year. I played the demo. It's
Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule
That
Warriors
looks kind of fun.
And the Hyrule Warriors is interesting because I remember when it first came out, and everyone's like, this is the stupidest thing ever. Why are they doing this to Zelda? And over time, they started introducing those characters. Like, you can play as Impa. You can play as the bug girl from Twilight Princess. You can play all these different characters from all kinds of Zelda games. And then people are like, I'm excited for Hyrule Warriors.
Yep.
Because all the fan service started getting into the public eye.
It's like the Nintendo version of Dynasty Warriors. I fucking love that game.
Yeah, if you love and the reviews I've heard are about the same as what I expected. I thought that. Yeah, I mean, it didn't do anything. I didn't expect it to get like Game of the Year status at all. Just sort of a spin-off. But people are saying it's fun. They say it's worth your time. I like that. And you got all these characters. It's solely the game is solely made to celebrate Zelda. It really isn't made to do anything else, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
We know what we're getting.
I do like and you can play as Ganondorf. You can play as Zant from Twilight Princess, which is kind of a weird choice because he was a weird character. And I'm hearing a lot of good things about it, and I'd like to play it. And Zelda does stuff, sweet.
Yeah.
And Sheik, and Princess Ruto, and Darunia, and all these other characters that, they're just finding whatever they can find. And I was making the joke, put CDI Link in there, just for shits and giggles. But of course, that would never happen.
No.
So that's something. I mean, there's always Smash Bros. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's huge news. I mean, the Titan thing had just come out this morning. So I really wanted to see that. The Tokyo Game Show has been going on the last few weeks, and they've been talking about a lot of other games like Bloodborne on PlayStation 4, which is like the next game in the Dark Souls series, even though they say it's a new IP, and I'm like, it's Dark Souls. You made Dark Souls, and you're making this new game like Dark Souls, so I should really play Dark Souls. And one other thing I was gonna bring up. Well, I was gonna say, kind of connected to the problem about easing into the next gen. Look at all the games that are coming out for next gen consoles this year. They're remakes. They're remasters. They're all these games that we've played already. So
which is kind of just like a slap in the face. It's like, buy this new console, play all the games you've already played.
I swear to God, there are more remasters on the market for those systems than just regular games.
Oh God, yeah.
And I'm kind of tired of it.
Yeah, because the companies that make games for consoles have been restricted to the hardware of like PlayStation or any Xbox. They finally put in to these next gen consoles what we've had in PCs for a couple of years.
Of course.
Now they're like, oh, we can actually make something that's kind of powerful.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't even make my computer sweat, but makes these consoles work really hard.
There was one remaster I reviewed for the Hardcore Gamer called Metro Redux, based on the Metro Last Light and Metro 2033.
Yeah.
The problem I had with the original Metro 2033, it was very badly optimized on PC. But this new Redux version is basically what the original should have been. But it's also out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, so now you can finally get 1080p with 60 frames per second. And I'm like, they were kind of already like that on PC before, but okay, go for it, console guys. I'll just give one more story. The only other story I can think of is that GameStop is thinking of getting into the used DLC market. I don't know how that's possible. But this is
your DLC.
What they say is that you buy DLC and then you can sort of sell the license to GameStop, and they can sell because what you do when you download DLC is it's tied to your console's license.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that used DLC? it just sounds weird to me.
Secondhand DLC.
DLC usually isn't that big. So, and of course GameStop's they're gonna upcharge that stuff. They always do.
I was gonna say though, isn't most DLCs like you get a code and you bind it to your account?
Yeah.
Unless you buy it through the console marketplace. And they
even
said
then that's just digital.
I know they said they're interested in it, but they're still kind of figuring out, because it would require. Yeah. It would require a partnership with different game developers and publishers for it to work. GameStop has all this money, so they can probably get by with that.
I mean, honestly, why doesn't GameStop literally just start making like their own Steam?
I think they already do that. I think you can buy digital games.
Go buy GameStop right now.
Through the GameStop website. I think you can do that.
Okay, I was gonna say, because like that's like one of those things, like if they're gonna start doing that, like tradable DLCs, why don't they just start investing more towards like the Steam play? And except for do that but not online, do it for consoles. Do it that way.
With consoles being more and more like PCs, I mean, that's the thing with like Ubisoft. Ubisoft hates PC gamers. That's why we get all these shitty ports. And that's why we get Uplay, but Ubisoft always pushes the next gen console versions of their software the most. They did it with Watch Dogs. They're going to do it with Far Cry 4. So they hate they hate PC gamers, or they just don't give a shit about them. So it's hard to see if used DLC is an idea that can work, because they would need to be in communication with publishers and developers,
right?
And not everyone will agree to that. Not everyone would say, okay, no. So I think that's the kind of rounding out. There really isn't anything too big, not after the Titan announcement today.
Chat just said GameStop bought Impulse, which was originally made by Stardock Games.
Yeah, I don't